Hey, I'm just gonna talk about something that has basically been brought to life, whatever you want to say. MTV is dead. Seriously, it is dead. And this video is not like drama based. Like, I'm serious saying my views. This has nothing to do with the Pluto stuff. The Pluto stuff is just fictional art and drama. So stepping away from the Pluto stuff, let's go. So basically, MTV was groundbreaking because it was the first mainstream channel to play music and interviews and really allowed you to do all the stuff you can now do with the internet and YouTube, this very platform I'm posting this video on, and what a post it will be. And this will be like videos I've done in the past, just sharing my views from up here. And I'm sure the views of many will be expressed. Like, I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just a voice. So basically, MTV also had like interviews with artists and musos and stuff like that. And it was just groundbreaking, and people had respected MTV for that because they just were very revolutionary. And now the revolution is gone. So basically they've sort of faded away, faded into obscurity. Sorry about that. And they had a chance to clear their name because ever since 2003 they've been airing like 10 shows, which some are good, some are bad. Like Catfish is good. That's the only MTV show I think is good, and the only MTV show I watch. So basically, the video starts off with a guy saying some stuff before the title even comes up, like the logo and everything. And he says like, "Hey, white guys," or something along those lines that is really stupid. And see, with that, it's so insulting because you're just outright being racist and just really absolute dumb humor. And imagine if I said that they did a separate video where they said, "Hey," to every ethnicity. It's just so stupid. Like, I don't go up to a person and say, "Hey, you're a white guy." Like, hey, yeah, it's just stupid and pandering humor. And it's really seeking to have an agenda, and we're not gonna let it. So basically, the next lady is an African American lady. That's all good, but what she says is really bad. Of course that's fine, but I'll get into it. So basically, she basically says all this some stuff about America and saying that white people are more privileged. And yes, some people are more privileged than others in society. Like upper class and middle class, but that's not even a thing. It's just insulting anyway. So the wrong thing with this is that that's just really insulting, because honestly, like, we've made things right with people of that ethnicity, and honestly, I know this is sort of a tangent and this video has been all over the place, but think of like Aboriginal Australia and what we did when we colonized them. And honestly, sometimes I'm ashamed to be white because of what we did to them. And we're making peace. And even though it's just MTV trying to be stupid and push an agenda, damn, we're not gonna let it let us down. It's just so racist, pandering, corporate bullshit. Absolute bullshit, really. That's what it is. And my final point is they basically say, well, my second final point, they basically say stuff about Black Lives Matter and that they do matter. Just some stupid way it was said. But Black Lives Matter, they just matter, or something like that. Now, we know Black lives do matter. As I said, we are trying to make peace. We are making peace. We're getting there. And then this guy went on to say, Blue Lives Matter isn't a thing. Like, how insulting. Because that was made due to some horrible deaths of police officers in the police force. And basically what you're saying, because people are gonna eat it up, because they just will. They'll eat it up. It should, honestly, the content itself is just insulting and so distasteful. And insensitive. Blue lives do matter. And what's even more sadder is these people in the video are probably just uni students. Just got out of uni. Uni students are easy to pay and don't even have these views and don't have these political views, because I think political stuff was spoken, just really off-color stuff. And I know this is going everywhere, but just bear with me. So basically, my final take on the thing is basically to those people who helped with that video. Like, how could you? What was going through your mind? What was your thought process? Because, honestly, I'd be ashamed to work with MTV on that video, or MTV from now on. MTV has gone from a music platform giving people joy to a platform with bullshit agendas, pandering, just nonsense, nonsensical, stupid, unhumorous content. I am so annoyed at the sheer audacity of them to go and try and pull this off. Really, the censors should cancel them because the claims made were false accusations and just nonsensical bullshit. MTV didn't die, it is dead from my point of view. And if that were me to try and get their reputation that they are losing at a quick pace, at a fast pace, whatever you want to say, I'd write a sincere apology letter. Because that's just me. Because this is what is driving us away from being peaceful and having peace. Just this propaganda bullshit right here. And right there, up at MTV, down at MTV, wherever they are, I am very, very mad and deeply upset and deeply offended. And yeah, these may seem like generic cookie cutter responses, but when you make false accusations like you have done, it always comes back to one thing: those false accusations. MTV, I hope you can find it in your heart. MTV, you went from playing Nirvana to corporate bullshit. You went from being edgy in a good way and pushing boundaries and pushing the envelope in an interesting and fun way. With Daria, a sarcastic take on a teenage girl's life, an animated show. You went from pushing the envelope in a good way to a deeply offending bad way. And please just find it in your heart. And I know MTV's a network, but people cared about it a lot, you know. And just write an apology letter, make a follow-up video, fire whoever came up with the idea, because it's just not cool, man.